What up, everybody? Welcome to Dictate the Day. I'm Dick, and we in here taking the day. Got a crazy series of clips and videos for you. If you're not aware, yesterday, the 9th of September, Congress had a hearing with UAP disclosure, all kinds of witness testimony and videos, ex-military, civilian, whatnot. I've been trying to shoot this video all morning, but been having some technical difficulties. So I'm going to skip the normal intro stuff, and I'm going to try to get right to this. I'm going to summarize this whole thing if I can, because some of these clips are a little bit lengthy, 4 to 6 minutes. I'm going to show some of the key highlights, some of this witness stuff. The first clip I want to show you is the one that's kind of everywhere right now, and it's the drone footage. One drone is recording a UAP, and another drone is going to fire a piece of technology at it known as a Hellfire missile. And it's one of the top-of-the-line, firepowers that we have here in the military. And what happens is not what you think would happen. If you haven't seen it, here we go. All right, let me pull up my split screenish. There's all my clips. We're going to go right to this guy. You ready?
This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. You cannot see that drone.
Are you aware of anything in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I'd prefer to answer that in a skiff.
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild, and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
This was taken October 30th.
Yeah, it looked like the debris was also being propelled or pulled along with whatever technology this is. A couple things to unpack there. Mr. George Knapp, love that guy. Been doing this forever. He's been in the game since before I was born, and I'm almost 50. He talked about, hard drives or whatever with more evidence on it that we don't see unless it gets leaked or whatever. Well, here we are. We're watching some of this. They have been I think this is the third or fourth meeting that they've had with Congress saying UAPs are legit. We don't know what they are. They've talked about biological stuff that we have found. Just give it to us all. Why won't they give it to us all? I feel like there's something else here, as always. You've heard me say before, if they're showing us something, it's because they don't want us to look over here. Hey, check this out. Something shiny over here. Don't pay attention to what we're doing with our policies. And I'm not trying to be political at all. I'm just saying this is some kind of weird wool over our eyes. I don't know. This is entertainment purposes only with some education. All right, let's go to the next one. I've tried to shoot this video so many times. I have forgot what I have said. I don't know if I'm repeating myself. I apologize. Let's continue.
Mr. Borland, in your testimony, you described witnessing large triangular craft while stationed at Langley Air Force Base in 2012. Can you explain what you observed in terms of size, behavior, and why you're confident it was not conventional technology?
Okay, before he gets started, I will say this about the, whistleblowers. Especially this guy, there's going to be another gentleman. As they relive these instances and explain to Congress what they saw, what happened, whatnot, I feel like they believe what they saw for sure. I don't think they're making this up. They definitely saw something. We're going to see a little more footage of stuff. But you know, did they see something from another dimension, outer space, the ocean, you know, because they say they come from the ocean too? Or are we just seeing crazy technology that they haven't told us that they have already, or they've reverse engineered, or whatever? Just my own thought, you know, do your research, form your own opinion. One word keeps zooming around my head, and it's Project Bluebeam. Yeah, not to mention this 3i Atlas thing. You know, are these things related? I don't know. I don't know, and it's really hard to distinguish these days what's real with the AI, and even with some of the videos they're showing us, some of the disclosure videos. What are we really looking at? Here's another thing I thought about, and then we'll get into it. Excuse me. It's the fact that they call these items tic tac shaped. If we never had Tic Tacs, you know, the little mint candy, because that's what they're referring to, what else would we call these things? Aspirin or Tylenol shaped? I don't know. Just something funny I thought about. All right, let's continue. This Dylan Borland guy, though, like, whatever he saw, the way he describes it, it's pretty awesome. All right, let's get into it.
Great question, ma'am. So on the base, I lived in the barracks. There was a little smoke pit outside. I was there on the telephone and looking across to the flight line, and I see a white light pop up and stop about 100 feet in the air. I thought it was a weather balloon. I've seen tests from there before, weeknight, you know, normal thing, not surprising. I actually finished my cigarette and I began walking up towards the flight line. There is a track, and because I was on 3 months of night work, I would walk the track at night when we were weather down. And as I began walking towards the light, towards the flight line and the track, the light then flies across the base, across the flight line, and as it flies to me, a triangle manifests around the light. I can't tell you if it's active camouflage. I can't tell you if it appeared around the light, but I can tell you that it was a white light and then it was a triangle.
Crazy.
It stopped about 100 feet in front of me and approximately 100 feet above me. My telephone got extremely hot, completely froze, dead. I remember how thick it was. It was between 1 to 2 stories thick, equilateral triangle. I could never see the top of it, and the edges were 90 degrees. There were 4 lights in total, 1 light on each corner and a larger light in the center, 2 to 3 times the size of the corner lights. But what was really odd was the outside. The best way to describe it is like looking at a James Webb telescope picture where you have the colors and then the black background. So the craft itself was this black metallic flake paint, but on top of the craft was this gold lava, plasma, some type of fluid going over and around the craft. I'm under this for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then the center light flashes 2 to 3 times, no sound, immediately shoots up to commercial jet level minimum, in my opinion, and I immediately feel static electricity all over my body, and then I smell the smell of after a thunderstorm or lightning storm, that really strong summer thunderstorm smell. Gets up to flight level. I'm trying to get my phone reset, and I can only see the center light at this point. If I didn't actually see it take off, I would have thought it was a star. And then it hovers up there, and it begins to slowly move due east out over the Atlantic Ocean. I finally got my phone reset. The entire thing was about, from the time I saw the light pop up near the hangar until it took off out over the ocean, was about 15 minutes.
Mr.
Crazy, right? Crazy. So some of this hearing, I don't know if I've said this before or not, because I've tried to shoot this so many times, is to protect the people who come forward with this stuff. I guess they want to enact some form of law that protects military, ex-military, and civilians for talking about this stuff. And he's going to go into that here in a minute. It's one of the longer clips. I apologize. But I think it's worthy stuff. I'll use the word excited over the fact that this is happening in my lifetime, and where this is going to lead, I have no idea, but I am so here for it. Ooh, my goodness. I'm just hoping it's not what Project BB, its ultimate goal is for control, because a part of the guidelines of that project, if you know what I'm talking about, entertainment purposes only, is to enact control. First fear, and then, hey, we saved you, check it out, but we got to do this and this and this, and you have to fall in line. We saved you. Just throwing that out there. If you know, you know. All right, let's go to the next one. I don't even know what the next one is now. I'm lost in the sauce.
On the evening,
All right, this one is about 4.5 minutes long. But this guy has great delivery in his speech. Calm, cool, collective, real detail oriented. It's a good one. Here we go.
of February 15th, 2023, at approximately 19:15 PST, in the Whiskey 291 warning area off the coast of Southern California, I was serving on board USS Jackson. During that period, I moved between the Interior Communications Center, ICC-1, and the bridge wing, correlating the sensor picture with visual observations, part of my routine responsibilities for surface and air picture management. What I observed and what our crew recorded was not consistent with conventional aircraft or drones as they appear on our system. A self-luminous, tic-tac shaped object emerged from the ocean before linking up with three other similar objects. The four then disappeared simultaneously with a high synchronized, near instantaneous acceleration. I observed no sonic boom and no...
That's what's crazy about all of these, Tic Tacs, UAPs, or whatever, right? Is the fact that they can go from either a sit still or normal flight kind of speed, and then with speed so fast that if there was anything, human or biological on it, it would be, either smashed to the floor, slammed to the ceiling, because our bodies are too soft. We can't operate inside one of those unless there's some other technology, unless they're remotely controlled. What are these things? Let's continue.
No conventional propulsion signatures, no exhaust plume, no control surface articulation on the Sapphire image system.
No heat.
Shortly after the synchronized departure, radar tracks dropped. These observations were multi-sensor and recorded inside of ICC-1 with time location overlay visible in our source frames that have been made public by journalists. From my experience operating in this region over many years, and consistent with our public characterized encounters, unidentified objects reoccur in United States operation areas off Southern California. That fact alone does not tell us what they are, but it does argue the systematic stigma-free reporting and for the preservation of sensor data so analysts can evaluate safe and intelligence implications with rigor. I want to underscore 3 points for the task force and the committee. Aviation and maritime safety. When crews and watchstanders observe objects that maneuver or accelerate in ways that does not match known profiles and do so near our ships and aircraft, that is first and foremost a safety issue.
True.
Standardized checklist and training should ensure we capture the best possible sensor data in real time, including IR settings, slant range estimates, and bearing and range altitude snapshots, and immediate chain of custody for any recordings. Reporting without stigma, protection without retribution. Sailors need to know that reporting UAP encounters will not harm their careers. Congress can help by reinforcing witness protection and by directing the relevant office to maintain confidential, destigmatized channels for service members who step forward with data.
Okay, so if they're successful in this process where, they form some type of protection for the whistleblowers, and then we get this flood of information, which may be a part of the plan, entertainment. I feel like it's going to be real hard to divulge what is true or not. So, keep your skeptical eyes skeptical. Where is this going to go? Here we go. Sorry.
Declassification and transparency where possible. The task force declassification mission is directly relevant here. Where operational security permits releasing metadata preserved sensor excerpts, or at least technical summaries, would improve public trust and accelerate outside scientific scrutiny. That includes, when feasible, the time geo-reference IR frames and radar parameters needed for independent analysis. To be clear, I am not here to make claims beyond my lane. I am here to provide a first-hand account of what I saw, what our systems recorded, and why it matters for safety, for intelligence, and public confidence. My request to you is practical. Help us capture, protect, fairly evaluate the evidence, and provide a safe pathway for those in uniform to report it. In closing, I want to thank the committee and the task force for holding this hearing and for placing this discussion in a forum where evidence can be examined carefully and openly. I appreciate your attention and stand ready to answer your questions. Thank you.
I don't know if it's a simulation or what, but every day feels like we're living in a movie. I mean, ever since the 2020, you know what I'm talking about. Very movie-esque. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's, okay, this one is about, it's like 6 minutes long. I may fast forward somewhere through this, but it's kind of crazy. This guy right here, sitting next to George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell back there, and I don't know who a lot of these the military whistleblowers are kind of over here. There's probably some lawyers and whatnot back there. Just check it out. I feel like these people believe. They believe.
Good morning, members of the task force and the committee. I would like to express my gratitude for being invited to testify to the current task force created under the People's Chamber and the American public. As an American citizen, veteran, and intelligence community professional, it is an honor and a privilege to serve under oath before you on behalf of our country. I speak for myself and no former agency or company I have been previously affiliated with. My name is Dylan Borland, a former 1N1 geospatial intelligence specialist for the United States Air Force in an active duty enlisted capacity from 2010 to 2013.
Okay, did you hear what his job is? Like, that's pretty intense. So for him to come forward and do what he's doing, It's funny. I'm gonna read you this first comment. It says, "When will people understand? This conversation will go on for generations. We will never find out the truth, only stories, non-detailed information, and videos that really show nothing." The videos are kind of like, what are we looking at? How do we know? Whatever. These are also most likely 100% our technology. Keep chasing the white rabbit. LOL. Just for, argument's sake, keep that in mind. Entertainment, information. Sorry, Mr. Borland. Continue.
I've also been employed with BAE Systems and Intrepid Solutions as a senior analyst, expert in analyzing video, radar, and advanced electro-optical imagery for official identification of aerial order of battle, as well as naval and ground order of battle.
Damn.
I'm a federal whistleblower, having testified to both the ICIG and ARROW with direct firsthand knowledge of and experience with craft and technologies that are not ours and are reportedly operating without congressional oversight. Because of my direct knowledge of the reality of certain legacy UAP programs, my professional career was deliberately obstructed, and I have endured sustained reprisals from government agencies for over a decade. From 2011 to 2013, I was stationed at Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, conducting 24-hour operations via manned and unmanned aerial vehicles for Special Operations Forces in the global war on terror. During the summer of 2012, my team was on standby for weather, and I returned to my barracks on base, and at approximately 01:30, I saw an approximately 100-foot equilateral triangle take off from near the NASA hangar on the base.
Do you hear what he said? NASA hangar? I know NASA and the Air Force are somewhat, but I didn't know there was one out at Langley. That's crazy. And then before all this, he talked about, for lack of a better word, harassment from, I'm sure, higher ups or whoever the chain of command is. And I'm not trying to put anything negative out there or, scar the future with something horrible. But, like in the movies, I'll say, keep myself safe here on the tubes. If somebody knows something and they don't want it to get out, they usually have some form of accident, whether it's a car or, some form of self-harm or whatever, right? But there are always question marks around it. And I'm not saying because I want this to happen, but if something happens to these people, like they disappear or go on a hiking trip and they're never seen again, that would, unfortunately, but fortunately, add some validity to this. Because why, after all that harassment, after all those warnings, is it because they feel protected? Or are they reading from a script? Because whatever they saw was too much, and now they're being told to say this. I'm just trying to keep, All right, here we go. Sorry.
The craft interfered with my telephone, did not have any sound, and the material it was made of appeared fluid or dynamic. I was under this triangular craft for a few minutes, and then it rapidly ascended to commercial jet level in seconds, displaying zero kinetic disturbance, sound, or wind displacement. Some years after that experience, I was further exposed to classified information from the UAP legacy crash retrieval program through a sensitive position I held within a special access program. During this time, intelligence officers approached me in fear for their own careers, citing misconduct within these programs and similar retaliation that I was already enduring at this time. These issues include medical malpractice committed by Veterans Affairs staff, denial of work I performed while enlisted in the United States Air Force, forged and manipulated employment documents, workplace harassment, including colleagues being directed to not speak with me, manipulation of my security clearance by certain agencies, blocking, delaying, and ultimately removing my ability to be employed within the IC. The retaliation I face and the retaliation...
That's a lot. Like, just all the UAP stuff aside, him just saying those things because of, legality and retribution and things like that. And I don't know if that, because it makes it a little more believable for me, but is that a part of it? Is that why this is a thing, so we believe it more? I don't know. Put it in the comments what you think. Let's go.
Against individuals I know who worked in these programs is what convinced me in March 2023 to become a whistleblower. I came forward out of concern for people's lives and to ensure I did everything I could to let our elected representatives know the truth about what is really happening in the executive branch. At the end of March 2023, I agreed to meet with Arrow following the suggestion of other federal officials believing it was what our nation required of me. I had reservations with Arrow due to assessments they were reporting publicly at the time as a misrepresentation of the truth. Because of these concerns, I did not share sources and methods information in order to protect current and former federal personnel who had firsthand exposure to technologies of unknown origin. I did not want anyone to face further retaliation beyond what they had already endured. And unfortunately, a staff member ended up getting in some trouble because of that. After David Grush testified under oath in the summer of 2023 and provided historic disclosure, I was then asked to go to the ICIG and did so in August 2023. It was very clear early on during my intake interview, which was video recorded under oath, that the objective was to solely assess how much I know and not move forward with an investigation with new information I provided them. The aftermath of that IG complaint still troubles me to this day. Since my ICIG complaint, I've been prevented from resuming prior employment and can confirm I'm still blacklisted from certain agencies within the intelligence community. In addition, multiple agencies attempted phishing attacks to assess what I had divulged to the Inspector General, including being asked to disclose details of my ICIG complaint during a CI polygraph for a position unrelated to UFO UAP matters as recently as November 2024.
This is... Can you imagine being this dude? And let's just say, for the argument's sake, everything he's saying is true. Just for this moment. Could you imagine walking around in life, knowing what you know, trying to get the information out there, and then your bosses, your colleagues, your whatever are ruining your career and, just making your life so hectic? You can kind of see it in his body language. Like, there is a series of nerves there, and I feel like if is that happening because he is telling the truth? Or has he been bullied, muscled into saying exactly these things? I don't know. Here we go.
I sit before you today, I and many other whistleblowers have no job prospects, no foreseeable professional future, and a nation every single one of us came forward to defend.
Sad.
Numerous individuals have come forward in various ways to reveal the truth of the UAP reality as patriots and defenders of our nation. Yet many feel discarded, isolated, hopeless, separated from the country they serve. Efforts to rectify this situation for all whistleblowers have been difficult and troubling. And to my fellow whistleblowers and officials who know this information, I offer you my apology, something that I have never gotten, and I'm giving it to you. I swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States, an oath that demands truth and transparency for our democratic republic to function. Each day, these truths remain hidden from our citizens. Humanity drifts further from the principles our nation was founded to uphold. Each day, victims of crimes committed by agencies and companies maintaining this secrecy are denied justice as another day our Constitution is shredded. In 2023, Patriots provided this committee and the executive branch with undeniable proof of the UAP reality, and I commend your continued commitment. The future of humanity is one which we either travel to the stars or regress to the Stone Age with this technology. My career has been to deliver critical information to decision makers. Your role as elected by your representatives is to act on it. The time to act is now. Thank you.
Solid. Okay, man. Shout out to that dude. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Because like I said, if this is 100% true recounts of what they've experienced, what they're still experiencing, I mean, can you imagine going home after this? And I don't know if he has a family or what, but just being in your home, your apartment, your whatever, the hotel room probably that he's in. Are you thinking everything's bugged? Are you thinking every unmarked car that you see is them watching you? Like, what is life like? For that dude especially, but for all these people on the panel. You know, the men in black or whatever. Man, shout out. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Okay, next.
The question is no longer whether these...
This is only 18 seconds long, and I'm going to let it play twice. This is U.S. Air Force veteran Jeffrey, it looks Italian, Nutaselli, testifies in Congress UFO hearing, and he's saying that citizens have the right to know. But listen to his word choice in this about consciousness and stuff. It's just mind-blowing. Thank you, BBC.
These events are real, but whether we have the courage to face them. True leadership requires vision, a willingness to confront the unknown with transparency and resolve. These phenomena challenge our deepest assumptions about reality, consciousness, and our place in the universe. The question is no longer whether these events are real, but whether we have the courage to face them. True leadership requires vision, a willingness to confront the unknown with transparency and resolve. These phenomena challenge our deepest assumptions about reality, consciousness, and our place in the universe. The question is no longer whether these events are real, but whether we have the courage to face them. True leadership requires vision, a willingness to confront the unknown with transparency and resolve. These phenomena challenge our deepest assumptions about reality, consciousness, and our place in the universe.
Reality, our consciousness, and our place in the universe. This information challenges that. What? All right, I played it like 3 times. Let's roll on. Next. Okay, the reason I have these up, goodness gracious, that's loud. I don't know if these are related in any way. This one's actually from August the 8th, 2023. And it just says incredible UFO leaked footage, must watch. It does look legit, and I believe this was before AI had such an influence over all our technology. But I got a couple of these, and then we're going to end with these, and that'll be that. But check this out. Look at this, right there. No sign of propulsion, no smoke, no fire, just moving at the same speed as a fighter jet, with ease. There it is over land, kind of see it in the distance, it's right about in there, and I don't know what that is. I don't know if this is just another jet exactly. Like, are they just showing us another jet, or is that also something that is not normally in our sky? I don't know. If you know what that is, because it's an older thing, let me know. Put it in a chat. All right, next.
Yo, what is this, bro? What is this?
This looks a little AI, but the sound quality, it's crazy. And, okay, the little satellite UAP disc saucers, they do look a little AI, I admit. But when the jets arrive and you have kind of something you can kind of compare it to, it does kind of look legit. Tell me what you think. Watch this. There's shadows on the water.
Yo, that's like a... What is that, bro?
The jets.
Like, what is it? Yo, I've never seen some shit like this. That's crazy. What?
I don't know about that one. Like, what? And that one is from 2024. That's November 18th, supposedly. All right. Because most of these videos, I don't know if it's most, but the ones that I have seen usually appear over water. And then, there has been testimony, eyewitness accounts of them either going into the water or coming out of the water. And then there's videos all over. Who knows what's legit or not, of lights and orbs underneath the ocean. I mean, we even got mermaid videos these days, so who knows? But that's what the next 2 videos are going to consist of, is potential underwater stuff that would lead to, that's why they call them UAPs. Yeah, there's another submersible initialism that I don't know what that one is. Put it in the comments if you know, and let's continue.
With all the discussion about UFOs coming from our oceans, some people are starting to question past events that happened altogether. Many of you may remember this, but a few years ago, around 2021 and 2022, there was a series of accidental ocean fires, as well as US Navy tests where they were detonating massive bombs in the middle of the ocean.
Why?
At the time, people didn't think too much of it, but with all the recent discussion about UFOs and their relationship to the ocean, some people are starting to theorize that these events weren't mere accidents and tests, but that these were planned, purposely executed, and targeted at underwater UAPs, and some people even going as far as to say that they were targeting a marine kingdom or underwater base altogether. Now obviously those are just theories and speculations, there's no hard evidence behind those claims, but I do remember seeing an interesting video around the same time of a swarm of UFOs over the ocean. I want you to check out that clip and let me know what you think in the comments.
sky at all. Then all of a sudden, bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is?
At first, I thought these were like aerial flares, because I know you can shoot a flare, especially military grade, up into the sky, and it holds for a while. So I'm not sure what that is.
We're in the middle of the ocean. On a ferry. Nothing around. Look. Nothing around.
With all the discussion,
A video.
Crazy. Okay, this next one, this is from 2024, and I think it was even, it might even be written on those little, I don't know, but I've seen this before, and I don't know what this is, because at first you see this and you're like, what is that, some kind of plastic shape or something? And then watch it transform. I just thought this might be, look, underwater creature with shape-shifting abilities, astonishing discoveries beneath the ocean. Are they related? I don't know, but it's worth a check of this out.
Video lasting over a minute was filmed by British researchers during a geological survey in
Watch
the
what this thing
Indian
does.
Ocean. When the autonomous robot was lowered more than 1,100 meters deep into the seabed, it unexpectedly encountered a peculiar shaped creature swimming in front of it. According to observations, this creature has a black body and a fairly symmetrical shape, resembling two axes fused together. While people were still speculating about what kind of creature it was, suddenly it transformed into a spherical shape with multiple glowing veins of surreal colors attached to a soft and flowing lower body like a piece of silk fabric. Not stopping there, after a few seconds of swimming in front of the camera, this creature suddenly darted away, then separated its body into two distinct pieces before disappearing into the dark water. It is known that this is a rare and unique video footage of this mysterious creature captured up to the present time, and its identity has yet to be determined.
And that is still, like, I've not seen any update or anything on what we just witnessed. Like, what? Seriously, it's gonna go from
Fused together.
this
While people were still
to
captured up to the present time, into the dark water. This is a rare and unique video footage. A mysterious creature captured up to, and its identity has yet to be determined.
Oh my goodness! I
Or
still
body
can't.
like a piece of.
That's what I was looking for, and the thing's right in front of it. But you see these lights that are tracking back and forth, and then when it decides to exit stage right, it looks like wispy handkerchiefs or something. That's all. That's all. Okay. Last one. That's it. We did it. No outro music or nothing today. I'm just thankful that I was able to put up what I was able to put up. And if you've already seen this, my bad. But for those that have not, what? And even for the ones that have, still, what? If you're feeling frisky, put your thoughts of said evidence in the comments. And if you've ever experienced anything like these people are testifying, please put that in the comments. Let's go. All right, Dick is gonna dip. I will see y'all on the flip. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. I'll probably see you on Friday. Maybe not. I've got some job prospect stuff working out, so that's good. And maybe we'll do some videos about that too. Either way, dictate your day. And you know how I like to end these every single time. Spread your love. Share your knowledge. It will definitely help you in dictating your day. With that being said, Dick out. Love you guys. See you on the flip side. Watch the skies.